I've been thinking about all of you guys who are in really serious pain, and your doctors have told you that you have to get off of the opioid drugs that you've been using to control that pain, and you don't know what to do and you're freaking out. So I figured I would just introduce you to one of the really exciting ancient herbs that has gotten a lot of attention in the medical community as a possible alternative to opioid drugs, and that is Corydalis. Now, you're looking at the database, of course, and by the way, this is the new upgraded version that I'm working on right now. Not quite ready for everybody, but it will be soon. Corydalis is an ancient Chinese herb. It's very effective for pain. Now, not only that, but if you're unfortunate enough to have become addicted to an opioid drug and you're having to, in addition to the pain, having to go through withdrawal symptoms, Corydalis can also be used to help with that. Now we see at the top of the screen, now these are some of the conditions that it helps with. It helps with advanced cancer pain, and that's really saying something. I have a friend, an herbalist, who was helping her mother at home, who was dying from cancer, and her mom wanted to get off of the morphine. So she started giving her Corydalis, and sure enough, she was able to get off the morphine, and the pain level went down enough so that she was quite comfortable. And that's really all she was giving her, besides a good diet. That always counts. But the Corydalis really helped her. So let's just kind of scroll through and see a few of the other things that it does. Well, we see it's an anti-nociceptive, and what that is a category of herbs that help to tone down the signals, the pain signals that we're getting from nerve endings called nociceptors. The NSAIDs work that way, and there are quite a large number of natural substances that will help to turn those signals down. So that's one of the ways that Corydalis also works, is on those nociceptors. And it helps with heart failure. Hyperalgesia, that's really major and it's very difficult to treat. That's a situation where the nervous system has changed as a result of chronic pain or some type of an acute trauma, to where it just doesn't take any signal at all to set it on fire. And with people who have this kind of hypersensitivity, it's very difficult because they're uncomfortable wearing clothes. It's painful to put a shirt on. Sometimes, for example, it's so extreme that if a fan is turned on, that blowing air against their skin is actually painful. So Corydalis is used for hyperalgesia as well. It's a sedative. It helps people sleep who are in pain. That's big. And it helps with myocardial ischemia. What that is, not enough blood is getting to the heart. And in Chinese medicine, it's been used to circulate qi. It's also for neuropathic pain. Now over here on the left, you see some purple colors. Those are some of the really powerful alkaloids that are pretty unique to Corydalis. And of course, when you're in the database, you could click on these and learn about them. And I think it's a good idea, because the more we understand about how an herb actually works, the better able we are to match the herb to what's going on in our bodies, and we don't have to do quite so much trial and error. Now I've opened up the info panel, and in the new database it's actually a built-in browser, and so all of these tabs that you can click on will take you to articles and videos and things like that. And I've just clicked on an article that I'm just going to kind of read a little bit here. Okay, so we see that over 20 alkaloids have been isolated, and one of the strongest ones is tetrahydropalmitine, THP, and it is an analgesic and a sedative. And the beauty part, I think, is that it has such a wide range of actions on the central nervous system. So it's not just doing one little thing. That's why it can tackle a lot of different types of pain. And we see here that it decreases the stickiness of blood platelets. That's why it helps protect against heart attacks and strokes. And as we saw, the myocardial ischemia, it can lower the heart rate and blood pressure. And we see it can help people with insomnia fall asleep easier without any adverse side effects. And boy, one thing that's so important is if you're dealing with pain, you've got to sleep in order to heal. Now, it was found in a Chinese study that it could reduce nerve pain, that's neuropathic pain, and pain associated with menstruation. Here we see some instructions on how much to take. These are the recommendations: 5 to 10 grams a day of the dried rhizome. And I just want to mention that the Chinese have different ways of preparing Corydalis, aim to get something that's been prepared traditionally. So it's not just a dried rhizome. What they do with it is they do something called dry frying of the rhizome, and then they further process it in either vinegar or wine. And that process really brings out these powerful alkaloids and makes it stronger. So get a traditionally prepared Corydalis root. You can get it as an extract, and if you have the extract, then you're talking about 10 to 20 milliliters of it a day. You don't want to overdo it though. There have been cases, these are strong alkaloids, and there have been cases of getting way too much of this THP and creating a liver toxicity that could eventually lead to hepatitis. So that's an important caution. In fact, if you have some type of liver disease, talk to your herbal practitioner and be really careful about it. Don't overdo it. Also, it's not for pregnant women or nursing mothers. There can be some side effects if you take a lot of it. You could have vertigo, or it might make you feel fatigued or nauseous. There are no known drug interactions with Corydalis.